Have you ever texted someone and watched the seen notification sit there like a silent slap? Or felt the sting of a friend walking past you, pretending they didn't see you? Being ignored is one of the most quietly painful experiences we go through. But why does it hurt so much? In this video, we're going deep into the psychology of being ignored, what happens in the brain, what it says about us, and most importantly, how to stop letting it define your worth. Human beings are wired for connection, literally. The anterior cingulate cortex processes physical and emotional pain. Same region. Social rejection triggers the brain the same way as a burn or cut. Even micro-rejections, like being left on read, activate this. Why? Because in ancient tribes, rejection meant death. To the brain, being ignored feels like being injured. Ignoring someone is a form of social control. Silent treatment is often used in relationships, especially toxic ones. It's meant to provoke anxiety, guilt, self-doubt. This tactic creates an imbalance of power, where one person waits and the other withholds. Even in workspaces, being socially frozen out causes massive productivity drops and burnout. Real-life case studies: school bullying, workplace exclusion, ghosting. Most of our reactions to being ignored come from childhood attachment patterns. If you had emotionally unavailable parents, your brain is hypersensitive to being ignored. Anxious attachment: you chase validation. Avoidant attachment: you pretend not to care but internalize it. Ignoring a child as punishment can create a lifetime fear of abandonment. You don't overreact to being ignored. You're reacting to all the times it happened before. The brain fills in gaps with worst-case stories. They hate me. I'm not good enough. I did something wrong. Cognitive distortions, black and white thinking, personalization, catastrophizing. In reality, people ignore for many reasons: stress, fear of conflict, their own emotional immaturity. Learn to separate your identity from someone else's behavior. Emotional detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. Practice radical self-validation. I matter, even if they don't respond. Build an identity not based on being chosen, but on choosing yourself. Create boundaries. If someone routinely ignores you, protect your peace. Mindfulness and journaling to track your emotional responses. Tools: CBT reframes, daily affirmations, somatic techniques to release shame. It's also worth exploring how cultural upbringing affects your response to being ignored. In collectivist cultures, harmony is prized, so ignoring someone might be a subtle way to avoid confrontation. In individualistic cultures, ignoring may be seen as asserting boundaries or power. Your cultural background might determine whether you internalize it or move on. Another layer is personality. Highly empathetic people, or those with HSP, high sensitivity, are far more impacted. You might find yourself spiraling because your mind is tuned to notice small social shifts. Meanwhile, a more stoic personality might shrug it off. This is not a weakness, it's a mirror of your nervous system and emotional intelligence. Digital silence is even more brutal. Social media has created passive ignoring. Someone watches your stories, likes your posts, but avoids direct interaction. It's a form of psychological confusion. They're there, but not with you. This invisible gap triggers what psychologists call the inconsistent availability effect, which keeps your brain hooked on checking, wondering, waiting. You may even start adjusting your behavior to be more visible again, changing how you speak, act, or present yourself online to be noticed. That's where the danger lies, when silence manipulates you into abandoning authenticity. But there is a turning point when you realize the only validation that truly lands is the one you give yourself. From this point on, ignoring loses its grip because it no longer taps into shame. It just reveals incompatibility. Remember, the most emotionally powerful people are not those who are always seen. They're the ones who stay whole even when nobody is looking. Learn to pause when you're ignored, not panic. Use it as a signal, not a sentence. Your nervous system may scream for closure, but peace comes from within. Self-trust is built in the moments you don't beg for clarity. Let this be your emotional pivot point. You're not here to be chosen by everyone. You're here to stay loyal to your truth, even in silence.